Wes, not so wild about Uncle Sam. Several states fighting to get the government to give back millions of acres of federal land within their borders. They want it so they can drill for gas and oil. Utah just passing a law demanding it get back 20 million acres. My next guest supports that, Republican Utah Congressman Rob Bishop, joining me right now. So what's at issue here? That they argue it's there, it's largely within the border, have at it, right? And the federal government says not so fast?
Well, yeah, like the first thing this administration did is cancel 77 oil and gas leases in the eastern part of Utah that had taken 7 years to be approved, ready to go forward. It devastated the economy. It also meant that Utah was not able to generate money that could have been used to fund our education system or infrastructure. And it's only right that the state of Utah should be able to produce and control its own resource development.
Okay, so by the way, why were they canceled, those leases canceled? Because everything I hear from the president is, you know, I'm drilling and open up new lands and leases, you know, like a drunken sailor. What's the deal?
The president is allowing land to be open for drilling on private property. He is still doing everything possible on public property to stop that. To be honest, there was no good rational reason. They came up with some, but none of them ever held water as far as the rationality of it.
So, Congressman, these lands are what? The ones that many in your state want access to? Private, public, both?
No. These are all controlled by the federal government. Most of them are BLM lands, far away from any national parks or wilderness areas. People on some of the wide open expanses, many of whom have a great deal of energy potential to give us energy security for the future.
So the government is saying these are public lands, pristine lands, off bounds. And that's their argument. Is it an environmental argument, or is it a don't even think of touching it argument, or both?
Well, from my point of view, it was an effort to try and buy some favor with certain environmental special interest groups. But they certainly didn't have the rationality for it, because the BLM had already gone through the process of approving those with the public hearings and everything else.
Where's this going? I mean, I always hear this back and forth. Every time either the president, he's going to areas with rich in natural gas or oil or whatever, you know, he all but dons an Exxon Mobil hat. What's the real skinny on him? I don't know. I'm confused.
On public property, this administration has done everything to retard the development of resources. Like I say, on private property, we found all sorts of new openings, and that is what is spurring on any kind of development of gas, any kind of exports, because the federal government has no ability to stop that. From the state of Utah's perspective, these lands are part that was promised at statehood the state should have, and it impacts specifically our ability to fund education system. And what we're trying to convince the rest of the nation is to go along with us, because they're paying like $8 billion a year to control the West. Right. They're hurting our education system. We could do a better job at maintaining and controlling these lands, and we should have the opportunity of doing it. That's why we're saying, let us develop the resources in our state. It helps our economy, and it provides at least an element of security for this country, who is still importing 50% of our oil from great places like Venezuela, and gives us the chance to plan for the future. It's a win-win if you allow the states to have the say that they were promised at statehood.
Got you. Congressman, always a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Meanwhile, this Fox